Fanboy Modeling School.
About to talk about a certain canceling that happened over the weekend.
Oh, wait. Yeah, let's save topic 3 for, we'll make that 4. Go for it, dude.
So, I'm gonna lose my mind. And this has to do with, I think you all know, Letitia Wright. Now, for all that was not in the know, Letitia Wright is the person who plays Shuri in Black Panther. So she put out a tweet that said, "I'm going to do research before I take the COVID vaccine." She said vaccine. She means obviously the COVID-19 vaccine. Before I take it, I'm going to do my research, and then she put up a video with it. And a video is like an herbalist, quote unquote witch doctor. I mean, I don't want, it's basically a naturalist and someone who believes in like natural medicines and all this stuff. And so it was taken down before I could see it, but people claim that in it, this person had some transphobic ideas, including the idea that transgenderism can be cured with herbs. So, and I was very defensive of her on Twitter. I was like, you have the right to question what you put in your body. I had a crazy situation where one time a doctor was insisting that I get the flu shot. I've only recently started taking the flu shot. And they were insisting. And I said, "Okay, what's in it?" And the doctor looked at me and said, "Oh, well, I don't know." Well, how the hell can you insist that it's safe and you don't know? Am I right? I mean,
No,
it's
absolutely.
just like, so there's that whole thing, but they're trying, but anyway, as we all know, on Twitter, the trans movement is very powerful.
Yeah.
And just the mere hint of this idea that like she might like or looked at anyone or shook someone's hand who's anti-trans or something, put a storm of fire on her, and they went after her jugular style, man, attacking her. I got friends of mine who are like brothers, supposedly Black Power dudes, and like they're so bought into this, they're they're not on her side. Even Don Cheadle in the beginning was not on her side. He's like, "I'm going to talk to her."
Who?
But this Don Cheadle who plays War Machine. But I don't like that guy. He's a punk.
Don Cheadle? Why are you saying his name like that?
What did I say?
He said Don Cheadle. You made him.
Is it not?
It's Don Cheadle. I don't care how it's supposed to be pronounced. I'm pronouncing it the way it looks. Don Cheadle.
Okay, my bad. I'm probably wrong. I don't know if I've ever heard it. But the point is that like she's not getting anything. Finally she canceled her Twitter account. She closed down.
So this is something, right? Whether or not this show ever has 1,000 views, but I definitely don't want your channel to be impacted negatively. I'm gonna blow some people's minds. Are you ready to have your mind blown?
I love having my mind blown.
I frequently go to Facebook pages, Twitter accounts, and YouTube channels of people who have deferring views. I've even been known to go watch Nazi videos, straight up real Nazis. I'm not talking about like, "Oh, that guy's a Nazi, he said black." I'm talking about
right. They call everyone.
Yeah,
actual Nazi nowadays.
Actual neo-Nazis who believe in 1488 principles, who believe in Mein Kampf, separatists. I'll go watch their videos because I believe that you should be exposed to a litany of ideas for at least one reason, to be able to thoroughly refute them, right? You got to know what the opposition is saying. You actually have to know what another person believes before you can refute it. So you have to accurately understand what they're saying. So the problem with cancel culture is this, and I'm going to head some people off of the path because this is the type of debate I usually get into. They're like, "Well, Steve, it's freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences." Absolutely. Who determines the consequences? You absolutely, as the canceller, quote unquote, have the right not to consume this person's media or content. You can boycott. You even have the right to say what you want to say about them. What you don't have the right to do is to then get a mob behind you to actively try to destroy this person's life, right? So every person should be held to account for their words and what they say, and bad ideas should be refuted publicly. We're not even going to get into the transphobia thing yet, right? But if Roy says something negative about trans people and I am on a show with Roy, you instantly associate with me with the one thing you disagree with about him the most. But instead of engaging in a conversation or public discourse around it and saying, Roy, you have wrong ideas, I would love to have a conversation with you about this, the first thing is, let's shut him down. Let's make him disappear. Let's make anything we don't like disappear. And the problem with that is it breeds resentment, right? It breeds resentment. And I don't know how many times.
It's what cult members do, man.
It's what cult members do. And guess what? Ironically, it's what Nazis did. What actual.
Right. You don't have the right to question or object.
Yes, suppression.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Real freedom of speech or just any cultivating ideas is people should have the right to question or object to something. And you have a normal conversation about it. You don't immediately shut it down like, yo, let's get the mob up on this motherfucker.
So and
destroy them.
And that's the
destroy
problem.
Destroy their livelihood. They wanted to fire these people. They wanted
exactly.
these people fired from their jobs because they tweeted something stupid at one point in their life.
So, and that's the thing. Where does forgiveness fall in this in society? But so she is not transphobic, and I honestly, man, I'm at the point where I'm almost at the point where I'm willing to risk it all and just to say you don't get to determine who is or who isn't a thing. And I feel that same way about racism, man. I don't know what's in your heart. And even if you have said something racist in the past, you could have straight up said the N-bomb in your youth, right? But there's still room for forgiveness. What is the person doing now, right?
Right, so, like everyone forgives Marky Mark.
Yeah, everyone
Mark
forgives
Wahlberg,
Marky Mark. Yeah,
he did a racial crime or whatever.
Yeah,
he was a young man.
Yeah, I stood outside of, I believe it was a Boys and Girls Club or something like that, calling the black kids N-words and stuff like that. I don't know if it got physical, but
yeah, it did. That's what he was arrested for
the
physical part.
And there's room for forgiveness. So here's the deal with this whole thing about her having to deactivate her Twitter account. I wish that she wouldn't have done that, but I understand why she did it, man. Because it gets to a point where there's no winning with these people. And that's right. I called you these people. So
these people.
The mob that comes after people in this regard, you guys don't spend enough time being consistent when it comes to this type of stuff. So you want to cancel this young lady over a video that she posted of a person that might have said some things, right? Right? That's what they want to do. But people watch The Breakfast Club religiously, and they had Louis Farrakhan on there. This man had a hand in murdering one of the greatest civil rights leaders ever to walk this earth, Malcolm X. Right? He had a hand in actively having this man killed. I don't know if he participated. He wasn't the man who pulled the trigger. But Louis Farrakhan was on The Breakfast Club. He's been on Hot 97 multiple times. This is proof that you can say horrible things and still believe the things that you've said. But if you stay alive long enough, people will become dumber over generations and they forget the importance of refuting you. So he gets on there and he's able to say things that they would never let a white Christian male come on and say. Boom. He straight up went on there and just said, you know what? Here's the thing about rape culture and Islam. And so I'm going to blow some people's minds. There's a reason that women wear those garb. There's an actual religious reason on top of an environmental one. And it's supposed to not just, promote chastity in the woman, but it's supposed to help curb the man's cravings to lust after a woman. And he explains why that holds true in the Nation of Islam. But then he just outright goes into abortion. He was like, yeah, 100% abortion. We don't believe in that. We don't believe in abortion. Now, stop the conversation right there. Had he been white, had he been Christian, the place would have exploded. Right? It would have literally
turned canceled right there.
Listen. Roy, I'm going to blow your mind some more. For all you people that had Linda Sarsour come speak at your woman's rally, I want you to know she is the most anti-trans person you'll ever meet. You don't believe me? Read the Quran and read the Hadiths. I don't have to make it up. Don't trust me. Understand Sharia, right? This is not something that is accepted in Islam, but yet they find room to allow her to speak at their things. It's horribly inconsistent, and Letitia Wright did not deserve this. And all honesty, man, I would fight any of these SJWs on the street. I would just love to get into a physical altercation with them.
This actually reminds me of what you're saying is like, once again, I want to point out that like I'm not anti-trans and I'm certainly not anti-Islam. But like this reminds me of Do you know the whole thing about the graffiti, or should I say flyers, that said, uh, Islam is right about women?
Yeah.
So this was like a year ago, so I forget what college town it was, but in a college town, some jokester wrote up these things that say, printed out, Islam is right about women. He printed it everywhere, and then all these people and it was a very liberal town, and people were so pissed off that they demanded it, and they called the cops, and they're like, "Look, it's hate speech," and the cops, and there's video of this. The cops are like, "Well, how is it hate speech?" And they're like, "Well, I don't know, but it's bad." They just couldn't comprehend, because what it is, it creates this contradiction in their minds, right?
Yeah.
They're a liberal, so they're like, I love all religions that aren't Christian. I love everything. All the good, every Christian, non-Christian religion is amazing, especially Islam, because I'm not Islamophobic. However, they know what the Quran says about women, or how the rules conducting women.
Yeah.
And so as soon as it says it's right about women, for them to be offended, they have to admit that there's something wrong about women being said. But however, they won't ever say anything bad about it. So it creates this thing where they're a robot short-circuiting. It does not compute. I want to say this real quick. And I realized that we started with Letitia Wright and we went on to a bigger political crazy thing. But I think it needs to be pointed out that Letitia Wright is a beautiful, amazing actress. And I love her in every way. And I feel like not only is she amazing, I can't wait for her to take over the role of Black Panther, but there's a lot of misogynists out there who don't want her to take it. There are anti a woman taking Black Panther. I'm sure you've seen them. You've seen them, all sorts of things.
These weirdos.
And I feel like they fueled this. It was a combination of, the trans movement, but also that who don't want her to see her succeed. It's very similar to the people who hated Brie Larson. Now, I didn't love that movie, but I have nothing against that actress. She can do her thing. I just wish they gave her a better movie. If she had a good movie, I'd be giving thumbs up. I can't wait to see her next one. But what I'm saying is there is this movement to try to hurt women who try to be superheroes, which is crazy. And I'm sure these guys all the time are like, we're not misogynists, but a woman can't be a Black Panther. And I'm like, this is nuts, but it is out there. And what I'm saying is Letitia Wright is an amazing woman. I hope she one day returns to Twitter, although I understand why she's not there, because it's a disgusting cesspool. It is a place where I go to take a dump. Honestly, that's what it is. I only go to Twitter to take a dump. There's nothing, and it is a cold, dark place to take it up. I promise you that. And what it is I'm just saying she's a great person, and I hope that she bounces back, and I hope this doesn't in any way affect. I'm always saying that Twitter doesn't affect the real world. I'm hoping that it doesn't.
But it's starting to.
Feige's, yes, and I'm really hoping it doesn't affect Feige's decision to keep her as Black Panther.
Feige, grow a backbone. I actually heard. I was talking to some people at work today. And
grow backbone, Feige.
Did you like what you heard? Check out the full episode. Just click the link down below. And remember to like, share, and subscribe.